If you think your bank is looking out for your best interests, you might be kidding yourself. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Achieve Financial Coaching Channel, where we believe in breaking the chains of debt and talking about all things related to personal finance. My name is Kenny Simon. I am your personal finance coach, and today I want to talk about something that all of us, or most of us actually, use, and that is banking services. I want to talk a little bit about how your bank may be getting over on you and that your bank really is not your friend. I don't necessarily mean that they are all evil. Some are, but they are all evil. But your bank is out to make a profit for the most part, and they do that in little ways that you really don't understand. And sometimes all those little charges start to add up, or you get hit with fees when you least expect it. So check out today's video and let's run through just 5 ways that show that your banks are really not your friend, or at least big banks really aren't your friend, and then get you to thinking a little bit about how you may want to consider switching banks if your bank is hitting you with a lot of these fees and really not serving your needs. Please consider subscribing to the channel, drop a comment, like the video, and share it with some friends. Let's get started. So as some of you know, I like to start these videos with a couple of quotes or just something to think about. And I have 2 today. One is from Bob Hope, comedian, actor, author, and funny man. And his says, "A bank is a place that will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it." The second is from American poet Robert Frost, and he says, "A bank is a place where they lend you an umbrella in fair weather and ask for it when it begins to rain." Just food for thought. So we're talking about ways that big banks are not your friend, and just sort of ways that they sort of make money off of you without you knowing. It's pretty sinister, I think, in a lot of instances. And the first thing I want to talk about are the high checking account fees and minimums, right? And so you mean to tell me that I pay the bank to hold my money while they loan it to others to make money, and if I don't keep enough in there, they're going to charge me more? Like, that just doesn't make sense. Someone needs to make that make sense to me. So someone, for example, who doesn't have enough to keep the minimum in there is actually going to get charged because they can't afford to keep the minimum, right? And what's crazy about it is you're already paying a monthly fee for keeping your money in there and having it protected, by the FDIC. But if you don't maintain the minimum, you get hit with an extra charge if you drop below that. I just think that's a little bit nuts and a little bit sinister. The second thing is double-digit credit card rates. Listen, credit card rates seem to always be high, and they just don't get the memo. Even while all other interest rates for products like cars and houses are low, credit cards never seem to lower this, right? And I think it's because they make a lot of money off credit cards. Credit cards are very convenient to use, but those interest rates seems to stay in the double digits. So your bad behavior with these little puppies have banks laughing all the way home. I would have said laughing all the way to the bank, but they are the bank, so they're already there, so they're laughing all the way home. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Double-digit credit card rates is another way that big banks show you they are not your friend. They are not for you. Another item I like to talk about are the hidden costs, also known as hidden fees. Newsflash, before you use any service for a bank, you better check the fine print because they are charging you. They make a lot of money this way, and it's not always obvious. So I did a little digging around and found this. It was a little article by n26.com, and I found an article that it listed 26 different fees. Yeah, that many. So let's have a look at this list, shall we? The next item I like to talk about are the terrible savings rates. I made a video about savers being losers because, the rate you get on a savings account or a money market at your bank is well below 1%, and it shows no signs of getting better anytime soon. So, what you really need to do here is shop around for an online bank to get a better deal. You might get 1%, you might get a little bit more. Won't be much more than 1%, but it's still better than the nearly 0% you get from most banks. Most banks that have sort of a physical brick and mortar location and don't have a big online banking presence are going to give you very little. So look for an online bank that at least tries to give you 1% or better. And I save the quote unquote best for last, overdraft protection. Now, this one is interesting. Overdraft protection sounds like it's something to help you, right? Wrong. It's only helping your bank, and you should not opt into this coverage. If you don't have it in the bank, don't spend it. Overdraft fees typically exceed $30 per occurrence. So check this situation out. Let's say your account is at $0 and you just weren't paying attention and you didn't realize it was at $0. And you decide you want to buy coffee for breakfast from your favorite spot. And while you're waiting on the coffee, you said, oh, I think I want a muffin too. So you go back and you make a second transaction to buy the muffin. Well, because of your quote unquote overdraft protection, you just paid 25 to 30 bucks per transactions. Hope you like the coffee and the muffin because you just paid $60 for your breakfast. Now listen, by law, all banks, especially FDIC insured banks, are supposed to leave people out of overdraft protection unless you actively sign up for it. But these banks are slick. They do a great job of actively and proactively encouraging people to opt into this coverage. But I'm telling you, it sounds like a benefit, but it's not. The inconvenience of having a transaction denied is less damaging than racking up multiple overdraft fees. Don't do it. So that's it. I just went through 5 simple ways that show that big banks in particular aren't your friend, and how your bank may be charging you or overcharging you for services that you may need every day. Some of these fees and some of these charges and services you may never need. But when you do, you should really be aware and read the fine print to see exactly what they're charging you, because these banks get over on you in a lot of ways. There is a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that is supposed to look into bank behavior, but they have a very small staff. I think they have less than 2,000 people, and there are probably 5,000 plus banks in the US. So kind of hard for those folks to keep up with all of the activity of the big banks. Plus, what happens is a big bank does some bad things, right? They get hit with a fine, and we see the fine and it looks like a big number to us. Oh, $200 million the bank has to pay for, pushing services that customers didn't ask for, or secretly signing up customers for credit card accounts, or, extended lines of credit, things like that. So they get hit with a $200 million fine. But when you look at their overall profits, which are in the billions of dollars, it is a small, small drop in a very, very big bucket. I would encourage you to know what fees you are paying. I would encourage you to look into your bank to see if they're really taking care of you, especially if they are a for-profit bank. I have never banked, well, I haven't in 25 years. I haven't banked with a for-profit bank in over 25 years. I've been with a credit union, some sort of bank that really is there to sort of serve the community. But any of these for-profit banks, you're going to get hit with some fees that you are not expecting or anticipating. And I think you should be willing and not be lazy. I think you should be willing to take your money and take it to another bank to make sure you're getting served properly. Remember this, you can achieve much greater things than where you are today if you're willing to put in the work. Conceive it, believe it, and achieve it. I'll see you next time. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, like this particular video, and share this with some friends. I've created a lot of other videos to help people along in their personal finance journey. I hope you find them helpful. I'll see you next time.